prepared by corruption watchdog CIA has revealed that the government offices in the country has been infested with middlemen who, through a nexus with officials, are minting money at the cost of helpless service seekers. Despite random sting operations carried out, the network of these middlemen and office bearers is thriving in the government institutions. Good morning, I'm Sarah Sapsanama, and these are the top stories of the hour. Lawmakers express serious concern over the Supreme Court's ruling to relieve the capital gain tax owed by NCL. Parliamentary committee to launch an investigation on the infamous case. Middlemen continue wreaking havoc to the public at government offices with the support of staff themselves. As many as 173 staff arrested with bribe along with 38 middlemen. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson warns the lawmakers they are damaging his chances of getting a deal with the European Union by trying to block a no-deal Brexit. And top seeds advance at the year's last Grand Slam US Open. Federer, Serena through to the round of 16. Lawmakers have expressed serious concern over the Supreme Court's ruling to relieve the capital gain tax owed by private telecommunications company NCL. Meanwhile, the Parliamentary Committee is to launch an investigation regarding the court's verdict on the infamous case. Speaking at the meeting of the Parliament's Law, Justice and Human Rights Committee yesterday afternoon, the lawmakers said that the court's ruling on NCL letting the telecom giant off the hook by slashing tax liability amount in billions was a case to be taken seriously by the Parliament. The lawmakers pointed out that although the court holds the right to have the final verdict on any legal proceedings, it did not, however, have the jurisdiction to exempt the tax imposed by the government under any pretext. They also termed the court's ruling as a serious intervention on the government's jurisdiction.
एउटा निकाली गर्यो छिटो बुझेन भनेर त्यसको अब्जेक्सन त्यसकोलाई रिभ्यु गर्न पाइयो अदालत जान पाइयो यदि त्यो ठीक छैन भने यो ठीक छैन पो भन्नु पर्यो अदालतले तब अदालतले फेरि कर टोक दिँदाखेरि त कसको कार्यक्षेत्र कहाँ हुने भन्ने कुरामा अझ कन्फ्युजनहरु क्रिएट भयो कि यसले हामीलाई फेरि अर्को खाल्डोमा जाग्ने हो कि
Lawmaker Dev Gurung, who is also the whip of the ruling Nepal Communist Party, termed the court making varying verdicts through different benches over a single case was hard to comprehend from general perception.
विगत कालमा 3-4 पटक जति चाहिँ आदेश दिएको कुनै बेलामा एउटा आदेश अर्को पटकमा अर्को आदेश हुँदै हुँदै जाँदाखेरि चाहिँ त चाहिँ अब अहिले चाहिँ करिबन 61 अरब चाहिँ कर तिर्नु पर्नेमा चाहिँ करिबन 39-40 अरब जति चाहिँ कर चाहिँ बिना हुने तिर्न नपर्ने भन्ने प्रकारको चाहिँ कुरा आइरहेको छ। त्यसकारणले त्यसको फैसलाको डिटेल सबै पाटा पक्षहरू नहेरिकन चाहिँ अहिले त यसै त भन्न नसकेला कि भन्ने लाग्छ।
Parliamentary Committee Chairman Krishna Bhakta Pokhrel made it clear that the objective of Parliamentary Committee's investigation was not to issue further verdict with regard to the court's ruling. He said that the probe was only aimed at establishing whether the country's judicial system has abided by the constitution and how the court has been dealing with the issues of public interest.
न्याय समग्र न्याय संविधान अनुकूल भएको छ कि छैन जनताको पक्षमा भएको छ कि छैन न्याय गर्दाखेरि जनताले न्याय पाएको अनुभूति गरेका छ कि छैनन् भन्ने जस्ता विषयमा पार्लियामेन्टको बीचमा छलफलै पनि पर्याप्त हुन्छ के कुनै निर्देशन दिनु पर्दैन त्यसले गर्दा तत् निकायहरू हाम्रो बारेमा अलिकति चासो सरकार चाहिँ मान्नेले पनि राखिरहेका छन् अध्ययनहरू सबैतिर भइरहेको छ भन्ने कुरा र क्रिटिकली रचनात्मक टिप्पणी कहिले पनि अदालतको अवहेलना भित्र पर्दैन।
Only last Monday, a joint bench of 5 justices at the Supreme Court had ruled that almost 25 billion rupees of capital gain tax of NCL should be exempted. As per the assessment conducted by the large taxpayers' office, the company had to pay the tax, including the interest and fines amounting to 62.63 billion rupees. However, the Supreme Court approved the NCL's appeal to pay only 14.5 billion rupees. And moving on, it is near impossible to get the officials' works done in the government offices of the likes of revenue collection, survey, transport, among others. A report by corruption watchdog CIA has revealed that service seekers have been forced to bear unnecessary hassles due to the middlemen, while at the same time corruption getting institutionalized at the government offices. Two junior staff, Jeevnath Pandey and Kamal Pandey at Butwal Revenue Office were arrested, taking a bribe amount of 120,000 rupees only yesterday from service seekers. They were receiving bribe money to facilitate the transfer of land owner's certificate. The anti-graft body CIA had carried out 142 sting operations last year, nabbing 32 middlemen who had a nexus with 161 officials who were also arrested. This year again, in 37 sting operations, 12 officials and 6 middlemen have been nabbed. And with that, we'll take a short break here. For more news, to stay with us. 3 Central Committee members of Nepali Congress, including Chief Whip Balkrishna Kand, have expressed discontent against the constitutional provision of secularism at the party's General Committee meeting held yesterday afternoon. Leader Kand, along with Central Committee members NP Saud and Sekhar Koirala, said that around 800 General Committee members demanded to remove the provision of secularism from the Constitution in the previous meeting and that the party should consider the demand seriously. Chief Whip Kand said that demanding constitution amendment in line with the interests of Madhesh-centric parties would not be in the best interest of the party. He said that the party leadership should settle the issue once and for all. He also requested the party leadership to inculcate the intra-party demands with the party's political proposal through the General Committee meeting itself. The party's Central Committee meeting has been slated for coming Sunday. Now, banks and finance companies in the country are currently vying against each other to distribute loans on vehicles. As many as a dozen banks and finance companies have been proposing loans on just 9% interest rate at the ongoing NADA Automobiles exhibition in the capital, while entrepreneurs willing to invest in productive sectors in fact have not been able to get the loans for even 12% interest rate. Banks provide loans to the customers to buy the vehicles of their choice with a down payment of as little as 30%. Customers can avail of up to 80% of loan when it comes to electric vehicles. This has led to a sharp increase in the number of people visiting the exhibition, while financial institutions too have taken the fair as an opportunity to make investment. Banks and finance companies have so far allocated around 30 billion rupees of loans for private vehicles in the country. Banks have recently been attracted towards investing in expensive and luxurious vehicles, citing that their investment in such vehicles would be safe. On the contrary, the banks and finance companies are hardly excited about investing in productive sectors. The tendency is against the government's strategy to reduce the national trade deficit. Experts are of the view that the Nepal Rashtra Bank should now come up with a policy so as to decrease the gap between the loans allocated for industries and private vehicles. In our Public Voice segment, we had asked the girl children of Madheshi community in Rupandei how's the situation regarding the gender discrimination in the district. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
Public Voice.
पहिला चाहिँ छोरीलाई ठुलो क्लासमा पढायो भने त्यो भागिहाल्छ अब चाहिँ हामीहरु अभियान गरे अनि पढ्दै छौं 10 क्लास 12 क्लास
छोरी जन्मदाखेरि हाम्रो गाउँमा चलन थियो जन्म दर्ता नबनाउने तर यो अभियान चलाएपछि छोरीको जन्म दर्ता वा नागरिकता सबै चाहिँ बनेछ
पढ्न छोडेका किशोरीहरुलाई हामीहरु वडा कार्यालयमा निवेदन दिएको कि अब तिमीहरु पढ्न जान्छौ
जुन टक्सी खाने छन् त्यसलाई सम्झाउँछन् जुन जुवा तासहरु खेल्छन् त्यसलाई पनि सम्झाएछन्
Time now for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
And the question is, what should be done for the control of middlemen at the government offices? Your options are A. Enhance monitoring, B. Office chief should be made responsible, and C. Service seekers should be aware. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. And time now for the sports update.
Sports news.
Now, Paris Saint-Germain has clinched a second consecutive win in the Ligue 1, defeating Metz 2-0 in the match played last night. In the match played at the home ground of Metz, Angel Di Maria gave the visitors the lead in 11th minute through a penalty. Few minutes after conceding the lead, Metz fans put up a homophobic placard to demoralize PSG players, obstructing the match for some time. The French Football Association has been taking stern actions against such activities. This was the second time such an incident had taken place in the league in 3 days. Prior to this, the crowd had put up similar protests against the homosexual community in the match between Nice and Marseille. The match was halted for 10 minutes at the time. Meanwhile, Eric Maxime Choupo-Moting scored in the 43rd minute to double the lead for PSG. The French champions were without injured strikers Kylian Mbappe and Edison Cavani and Barcelona target Neymar. PSG are at the top of the league table with 9 points from 4 matches. And with that, it's now time for our special segment, Media Watch.
Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli, who is currently in Singapore for health checkup, held a meeting of the Council of Ministers on Monday with the help of video conferencing. While the government considered the video conference meeting as a milestone achievement, experts stated that holding such a meeting would risk the secrecy of confidential information. Technical experts have stated that the video conference meeting was not fully secure. Meanwhile, the Prime Minister's Secretariat has been posting the video conference meeting on social media platforms as a big achievement. The government has claimed that the virtual private network or VPN system used was safe and that there were no chances for information leakage. However, the photos published on social media platforms do not indicate the use of the VPN system. The main opposition Nepali Congress protested against the ministerial cabinet meeting conducted by Prime Minister Oli through video conferencing. At Tuesday's meeting of the House of Representatives, Nepali Congress lawmakers accused the government of misusing technology which can result in the leakage of sensitive information. The Supreme Court on Sunday ruled in favor of Ncell, the private telecom giant, in the case filed against the large taxpayer's office in Nepal. A full bench of 5 justices reduced the capital gains liability by almost 25 billion rupees in the verdict announced on Sunday. The full bench of Supreme Court judges Tej Bahadur Keshi, Purushottam Bhandari, Dambar Bahadur Shahi, Sushma Lata Mathema and Manoj Kumar Sharma ruled in favor of the private telecom giant. The large taxpayer's office had earlier determined 62.63 billion rupees as capital gains tax on the Ncell buyout deal on 16th of April this year and had ordered Ncell to deposit 30 billion rupees since the telecom giant had already deposited 23.57 billion rupees as capital gains tax and penalty. This is Abhiday Shrestha for Kantipur News Desk.
Before wrapping up, here's a look at the top stories once again. Lawmakers expressed serious concern over the Supreme Court's ruling to relieve the capital gain tax owed by Ncell Parliamentary Committee to launch an investigation on the infamous case. Middlemen continue wreaking havoc to the public at the government offices with the support of staff themselves. As many as 173 staff arrested with bribe along with 38 middlemen. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson warns the lawmakers they are damaging his chances of getting a deal with the European Union by trying to block a no-deal Brexit. And top seeds advance at the year's last Grand Slam US Open. Federer and Serena through to the round of 16. And those are our latest headlines. Thank you for watching. Have a great day ahead.